Amy, can you see the live meeting screen?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
I see Craig's coming online right now. I know that Chris is going to be out today. Looks like he's on. Are you ready to go, Amy?
Yes.
Are we ready? Okay. Good morning. My name is Eric Winger. I'm the chairman of the Prequalification Review Board. We are going to have a virtual Prequalification Review Board meeting today, May the 12th. I'm going to read a few instructions before we actually call the meeting to order. Thanks for joining us for the City of Oklahoma City's video conference Prequalification Review Board. We have a few announcements to make. If the video conference is disconnected at any time during the meeting shall be stopped and reconvened once the audio connection is restored. If communications are unable to be restored within 15 minutes, items remaining for consideration will be continued today, May the 12th at 1 p.m. via teleconference. The agenda and documents are located on okc.gov. Anyone wishing to speak about an agenda item, public hearing, or to speak under comments from board members, staff, and citizens, please call 405-297-2293 or text 405-403-5256 or email prequal@okc.gov. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes to comment. I ask that all participants except the Prequalification Review Board members keep their phones on mute until they're recognized to speak. The Prequalification Review Board will be allowed to ask questions or comment at any time during the meeting. So I'm going to call the meeting to order, and if we could verify the quorum, please.
Yes, we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving to item number 2, approve the minutes. Everybody should have received the minutes for the April 14th meeting. Got a motion, and I've got a second on the minutes. If you'll cast your votes. Minutes are approved. Thank you. We're going to move to item number 3, the consent docket. We do have 27 items on the consent agenda today. 14 are renewals. 3 are new. The ones that are new are items 20, PMP directional, item 22, SEMA construction, and item 27, total demolition services. 10 of the 27 applications are removing conditions. 20 of them are local, 2 are non-local, 20 are local, 5 are non-local, and 2 are out of state. Are there any questions on the consent? A motion. Have a second. You'll cast your votes on the consent docket. Consent docket's approved. Thank you. We do have several under item 4 that are applications requiring separate vote. There are a total of 4 of these. We'll start with item number 1, 4M trenching. Robbie, I'd like for you to just update the board on each of these as we go through them today.
Yes, so these items were moved to separate vote because we are recommending something other than what they requested. 4M trenching, if you see the underlined portion, the water pipeline, wastewater pipeline, and wastewater facilities, as facilities did their review, they did not meet all of the qualifications necessary, so that's why they provided the provisional.
So included on the agenda is the requested, what's also included is the recommendation. So we're considering the recommendation today, and the underlined provisional Class B water pipeline, wastewater pipeline, and wastewater facilities contractor is different than what the applicant requested based on the review from utilities.
So, Mr. Chairman, do we have an idea of what of the qualifications they did not meet?
Robbie, do you have additional information specifically on the provisional Class B?
I do. The water pipeline and wastewater pipeline was just they didn't have the necessary jobs requirements. For the A, they must have two specific projects over 5,000 linear foot, and they didn't quite meet that, so that's why they got the provisional. And on the wastewater facilities, they only had one facility, and the requirements required two, and so that's also why they got the provisional there.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to consider these separately. Are there additional questions on 4M trenching, item number 1? If none, we have a motion. And we have a second to approve the recommendation. Please cast your votes. Motion passes. Item 2 is control fire systems. Robbie, will you update us on this one?
Yes, last month Control Fire was approved as a provisional Class C. After further communication with the utility department, they were notified that Control Fire does a lot of fire line and FTC service work, mainly on the private side. And so they're being brought back with a, not a provisional, but with a condition that they'll get the straight Class C as long as the work will remain private.
So we had considered applications similar to this previously, where we approved the Class C, but it does, as Robbie mentioned, have the conditional approval that it will be limited to work that will not become property of the city, pending receipt and endorsement of financial statements and an updated bond assurance letter with a corresponding date. So the fire systems that they do are typically on private properties. They traditionally have not done work for the city of Oklahoma City. So that's the reason for the condition. Are there additional questions on control fire system? Seeing none, there's a motion. We have a second. Please cast your votes. That motion passes. Thank you. Item number 3 is Jim Cooley Construction. This is an item that we first received at our meeting last month. There was some questions that were asked and some information that was requested. More specifically, it was requested by the board that Cooley Construction respond with a change in business or a business plan to update the board with what would be expected moving forward. I know that the plan was received late yesterday at the close of business, and it was distributed to the board this morning. It's 14 pages. I have not had an opportunity to fully review the document that was received. I've at least read as much as I could this morning, but I'm not sure if the other board members had an opportunity to receive or review that as well.
So, Mr. Chairman, at this time yesterday, I was prepared to recommend denial on this item because of the lack of response on the plan. But at this point, this morning, I, like you, have seen that there has been a plan submitted, but I have not had an opportunity to review it. So I would like to request that this item be deferred to our next meeting.
I know that we do have representatives from Cooley Construction that are, again, with us this morning as requested. So we do appreciate you being on the virtual meeting. I think you've heard our,
working.
Yeah, we can see you.
I think that that's reasonable since we were at the last minute providing information.
Thank you. The board will look at this and we'll defer this again until next month with this motion that's getting ready to happen. And we would request your presence again at our June meeting. And we'll send you information on that, on how to, again, call in. And actually, I take that back. The meeting in June is going to be in person.
Very good. Sounds
it
good.
Won't be virtual. So we will send you the information on the meeting location and meeting time once we get that established. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to consider item number 3, Cooley Construction. There's a motion to defer this item until the June meeting. Got a second?
My screen says waiting.
Mine too.
Also mine.
All right, let me reset it. Hold on just a second.
There we go. Thank you, Ms. Nikki. Motion passes. So this item's deferred until June. Again, thank you, Representatives from Cooley. We'll see you next month.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
We're going to move to item number 4. Item number 4 is Meridian Contracting. Robbie, please update.
Yes, the underlying portion under the recommendation, the first one is the water facilities Class B. The information they submitted was for industrial use and not municipal or potable water, and that's why they got the provisional Class B instead of the Class A that they requested. Under the wastewater facility, again, they have completed facilities, but not the required number. And so that's why they got provisional there. On the Class B building, the only experience that they were able to provide are small building modifications, some prefab buildings, and then 2 or 3 projects less than $1 million. And that's why they were recommended the provisional Class B on that one.
Are there any questions on Meridian Contracting? If there are none, we've got a motion. Let's have a second. Cast your votes. Motion passes. Thank you. Those are all the items that we have for item 4. We're going to move to item 5, informational items. We do not have today any expired pre-qualifications to update. We also do not have any expirations of conditional approvals. We do have 16 Class D paving contractor administrative approvals that are listed in the agenda, just for your information. And again, these are the smaller contractors that we're able to, with the new rules, to administratively approve. But if there's any questions on these, we'd be happy to answer those at this time. None? Okay. Move to item number 6. We do not have any show cause hearing items scheduled for today. So we're going to move to item 7, comments from board.
I do not have any comments. That's my comment.
Very good, thank you. What other board members?
No comments.
I did get an update from Chris. I know Chris is not on the meeting with us today. They are continuing to work on the Class D water and also the Class D wastewater. There are regular meetings that are occurring to get that updated. It's an item that the board discussed in comments from the board last month. So we're optimistic that we'll hopefully be able to bring that forward to the board soon, but we obviously do not have that today. Any comments from staff? And then citizens, do we have anybody signed up to speak?
No, we do not.
Nope. Okay. Item 8, and we do not have any items for separate votes. So last call, do we have any new business that we want to discuss or bring up for the meeting next month? Right, seeing none, I appreciate everybody's time this morning. Thank you very much. Great job. And we'll meet again next month. So as a reminder, we will be going back to in-person meetings next month. We are having discussion that we're likely to meet in the Arts District Conference Room. We feel like that's a good room of the right size, and that it also is more available to public when we do have guests that might want to attend that meeting. But we'll get the notices out to the board members and make sure that we get that posted correctly for next month.
All right. I'm happy to hear that, because I think that's a much better room in terms of distancing, especially.
Right. Very good. Well, I appreciate it again, everybody, and we're adjourned. Have a great day. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Amy.
Thank
See
you.
later.